The Consumer Price Index, CPI, is a measure of inflation that tracks changes in the price of a basket of goods and services purchased by households. It is a widely used economic indicator and is often used to calculate adjustments in wages, salaries, and government benefits. The CPI is calculated by collecting data on the prices of a representative sample of goods and services in a particular geographic area, and then averaging those prices over time. The items in the basket are chosen to represent the types of goods and services that households typically purchase, such as food, housing, transportation, and healthcare. The CPI is expressed as a percentage change from a base period, which is usually a specific year. For example, if the CPI for a given year is 2%, it means that the average price of the basket of goods and services has increased by 2% compared to the base period. The CPI is an important tool for measuring inflation and monitoring price changes over time. It is used by policymakers to make decisions about monetary and fiscal policy, and it is also used by individuals and businesses to adjust their budgets and financial plans based on changes in the cost of living. The Consumer Price Index or CPI assesses the changes in the price of a common basket of goods and services by comparing with the prices that are prevalent during the same period in a previous year. The formula for calculating CPI is CPI equals cost of market basket in a given year, cost of market basket in base year, x 100. Types of CPI. CPI for industrial workers, CPI-IW. 1. It tries to measure the alterations over time period on the prices of a fixed basket of goods and services utilized by industrial workers. 2. The target group would be an average working class family from any of these 7 sectors of the economy ranging from factories, mines, plantation, motor transport, port, railways to electricity generation and distribution. 3. Compiled by the Labor Bureau. CPI for agricultural laborers, CPI-AL. 1. The Labor Bureau compiles this data to revise minimum wages for agricultural labor in different states. CPI for rural laborer, CPI-RL. 1. Also compiled by the Labor Bureau. CPI, Urban Non-Manual Employees, CPI-UNME. 1. The Central Statistics Office, CSO, which is now the National Statistical Office, NSO, compiles this data. CSO is under the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Note: CPI for agricultural and rural laborers on base 1986 minus 87 equals 100 is a weighted average of 20 constituent state indices, and it measures the extent of change in the retail prices of goods and services consumed by the agricultural and rural laborers as compared with the base period viz. 86 to 87. This index is released on the 20th of the succeeding month. What is the need for CPI? The Consumer Price Index is an economic indicator which is mainly used to measure inflation. It gives the government, businesses, and citizens an idea about the change in prices in an economy. CPI can be used to index the real value of wages, salaries, and pensions, to regulate prices, and to deflate monetary magnitudes to show changes in real values. What is the CPI in India? Consumer Price Index or CPI is the measure of changes in the price level of a basket of consumer goods and services bought by households. Considering the WPI and CPI, the RBI will calculate the inflation in the country.